بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we look at the قصيدة المؤنسة by Majnūn Layla Qais ibn al-Mulawwah, as his actual name is. The قصيدة starts with, he says, تذكرت ليلى والسنين الخوالية وأيام لا نخشى على اللهو ناهية. He says, as he was going about in his wilderness and stuff, he suddenly it popped up his mind the days that he used to be with Layla, and they would be playing and they wouldn't have any fear for somebody to tell them stop playing. He says, تذكرت ليلى, I remembered Layla والسنين الحوالية. He remembered Layla, not just remembering Layla, because he doesn't forget Layla at all. He remembered Layla and the times السنين الخوالية, and those past years, أي السنين الماضية. الخوالية بمعنى التي مضت. So he remembered Layla and the day and the years that has gone by. وأيام لا نخشى على اللهو, يعني the days that we used to play and we didn't fear on this our play ناهية, somebody أي الذي ينهانا عن اللهو. He used to play with Layla and he didn't fear, they had no fear that nobody would tell them stop playing because they were little. Basically, that is what he's telling us. Small little Arab kids playing, who would tell them stop playing together because you are boy and girl? They were little. So now that he's missing Layla, he's not getting contact with Layla. He remembered those days that they used to play together and they didn't fear that anybody would tell them stop playing. تذكرت ليلى والسنين الخوالية وأيام لا نخشى على اللهو ناهية. Says ويوم كزل الرمح قصرت زله بليلى فلهاني وما كنت لاهية. Saying ويوم كزل الرمح. ويوم, wow here is called the wow rubba. Wow rubba is like saying ورب يوم. And rubba, as we know it in Arabic language, rubba can come to mean كثير, رب can come to mean قليل. رب رجل لقيته بخيل, رب رجل لقيته كريم. To mean that many a man that I've met is generous, many a man that I've met is miserly. Or it could mean a few men that I've met are generous, or a few men that I've met are miserly. So when he says وَيَوْمٍ, بمعنى وَرُبَّ يَوْمٍ, and this رُبَّ يَوْمٍ here means many a days, many of his days. كَزِلِّ الرُّمْحِ, they are like the shadow of the arrow. He's using the shadow of the arrow here because the shadow of the arrow, when it is doubled, as particularly when you bury the arrow in the ground, you kind of put the tip in the ground and it's standing there like that. When the sun rises and passes it, the shade that will cast, they go lengthier than the arrow, sometimes double the length of the arrow or even triple. So that length of the arrow, that is what he's using here. أي طول الرمح in the nahar. Says وَرُبَّ يَوْمٍ كَزِلِّ الرُّمْحِ, and I've put the rubba there. قَصَّرْتُ زِلَّهُ, this, he's comparing his daytime to the shadow of the arrow that has become very lengthy. So he has a very lengthy daytime. But what happened? He shortens this lengthiness بِلَيْلَ, with Layla. قَصَّرْتُ زِلَّهُ بِلَيْلَ, yani instead of the day being very long, he starts thinking about Layla such that he will forget about the day completely and the day will just come and pass without him realizing. Says فَلَهَانِي, as I thought about Layla, these thoughts actually lahani, they got me to be playful and forget actually. They took my attention of it, of the lengthiness of the day. وَمَا كُنْتُ لَاهِيَةً, and before this, I wasn't somebody who likes to play. Yani they amused me. As I started thinking of Layla, the thoughts amused me. But I wasn't before this, I wasn't somebody who was into amusement. Yani I was always sad that I was missing Layla. But then, as I start to think about the Layla and the thoughts of those أياما لا نخشى على اللهو ناهية, and those سنين الخوالية, it actually amuses me and I forget about everything. But before this, I wasn't somebody who was into amusement. Some have also explained this to be My daytime, وَيَوْمٍ كَظِلِّ الرُّمْحِ, he wasn't actually referring to his daytime, he was referring to the night, that his night is always lengthy. And it was lengthy like the shadow of the arrow. And this shadow of the arrow, he cast it short by the thoughts of Layla. He thinks about Layla, how they used to play, and he cast the day short. He cast the time short. فَلَهَانِ, it amuses me, all right. وَمَا كُنْتُ لَاهِيَةً, it only amuses me for a short while. وَمَا كُنْتُ لَاهِيَةً, and then you realize that it goes off. Some have also explained it in that angle. And then he says, بِثَمْدَيْنِ لَاحَتْ نَارُ لَيْلَى. بِثَمْدَيْنِ, Yani Thamdain is a name of a place. In this bait, actually, he mentions two names of places, Thamdain and then Dhat al-Ghada. Dhat al-Ghada is also a name of a place, but the place has a lot of Ghada. Ghada is a type of tree that grows on the desert, and when it grows plenty, it looks like a forest without stem. They grow like a lentil grass, not plants. It says, بِثَمْدَيْنِ لَاحَتْ نَارُ لَيْلَى. At Thamdain, when we were at Thamdain, لاحت نار ليلى. لاحت بمعنى طلعت, بمعنى ظهرت. The fire of Layla appeared. وصحبتي بذات الغدا, and my companions were at ذات الغدا. So بثمدين, at Thamdain, the light of Layla, or the fire of Layla, appeared. Whilst I was in my companions when we were at ذات الغدا. تسجي مطي النواجية. النواجية بمعنى السريعة. المطي بمعنى riding animal. So whilst me and my companions, we were at ذات الغدا, and my companions were dragging تسجي أسجا, they were dragging along the riding animals that were very fast. نار ليلى طلعت أي ظهرت, the fire of Layla appeared. Of course, everybody could know that this is not the fire of Layla. But let's say I know Layla stays at Accra and I am in Kumasi. Anything that pops up and I think, oh, this light is coming from Accra, I'll just say, oh, it's coming from my beloved. Too much love. بثمدين لاحت نار ليلى وصحبتي بذات الغدا تسجي المطي النواجية. The fire of Layla appeared at Thamdain. Whilst myself and my companions, we were at Dhat al-Ghada, and my companions were dragging along the fast riding animals. فَقَالَ بَصِيرُ الْقَوْمِ. Basir al-Qawm is the people, the one who had sharp sight. Whenever they were in the desert, they had one of them who had a very sharp sight and he could see afar. This Basir al-Qawm said, Al-Mahtu Kawkaban. Kawkab, when we say Kawkab, we mean a very sharp light. And that is why we name the celestial bodies, the stars and the sun, we name them Kawkab. إني رأيت أحد عشر كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. Kawkab is actually a sharp light. And the Basir al-Qawm said, Al-Mahtu, ay ra'aytu. I've seen a sharp light somewhere. Bada fi sawadi al-layli fardan yamaniya. I've seen a particular sharp light that has appeared in the darkness of the night. Sawadi al-layl. It has appeared in the darkness of the night. Fardan yamaniya, as a star coming from the side of Yemen. That is one explanation for the Fardan Yamaniya. Some have also explained the Fardan Yamaniya to be a sword made from Yemen. A sword from Yemen, they have said that it used to be very sharp and bright. And the tip of it is very sharp, and so it glitters. So he's comparing the sharp light he has seen to Fardan Yamaniya. So when the Basir al-Qawm said, Al-Mahtu Kawkaban, I've seen a particular light, Bada fi sawad al-layl, that has appeared in the darkness of the night, like Fardan Yamaniya, like a Yemeni sword, or like a Yemeni star. The Arabs, they used to tell which star is coming from which region and all that. فَقُلْتُ, Qais ibn al-Mulawwah, I said, قُلْتُ له, I said to him, بَلْ نَارُ لَيْلَى, don't tell me what you've seen is just a sharp light or a star. What you've seen is نَارُ لَيْلَى, is the fire of Layla. توقدت, that has lightened up. بِعَلِيَا تَسَامَى, Aliyah bimana, at a high level place, like a mountain, a hilltop. That has caught up at a high place. تَسَامَى ضَوْءُهَا, its light has gone up. فَبَدَى لِيَ, and so it appeared to me. So the light that the Basir al-Qawm saw, or the brightening he saw, Qais ibn al-Mulawwah is telling him, no, don't say it is just a light you've seen, but it is the fire of Layla that you've seen, and it has catch up on a high level land. That is how you're able to see it. You are seeing it because tasama daw'uha, its light has gone up. فَبَدَى لِيَ, and so it appeared to me. He says, فَلَيْتَ رِكَابَ الْقَوْمِ. Rikab is the caravan of the people, what they are riding. فَلَيْتَ رِكَابَ الْقَوْمِ لَمْ تَقْتَعِ الْغَدَى. Al-Ghada, this Zat al-Ghada that they were riding faster on. Qais ibn al-Mulawwah, Majnūn Layla, is saying that, how I wish this caravan, the caravan of my people, they will not cross Zat al-Ghada. We will keep being there so that we will be seeing the light of Layla. And then he says, وَلَيْتَ الْغَدَى مَاشَ الرِّكَابَ لَيَالِيَ. This sentence, we arrange it this way. وَلَيْتَ الرِّكَابَ, that is how it will go. وَلَيْتَ الرِّكَابَ مَاشَ وَلَيْتَ الرِّكَابَ مَاشَ الْغَدَى لَيَالِيَ. How I wish the caravan will keep riding through Ghada for several nights. So for example, we are in Accra, we are able to see the light of Layla. If you keep riding faster, as they were described to be, تُسْجِي الْمَطِيَّ النَّوَاجِيَ, in the verse number 3, if they keep riding this fast, they will soon leave Zat al-Ghada, where they were able to see the light from Thamdain. So he is wishing that, he wishes that ركاب القوم لم تقطع الغدا, أي لا تمر بالغدا, لا تتجاوز الغدا. It will not cross that place of Ghada, Zat al-Ghada. And then he wishes that the rikab, the caravan, will keep walking. أي وليت الركاب ماشى الغدا. It will keep walking on the Ghada layaliya, for several nights, so that he can have sight of the light of his beloved. It says Faya Layl. This place is, you find it other places read as Faya Laylu, and then here it comes as Faya Layla. So the woman is called Layla, so he cuts it short, Layla. Just like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have been calling Nana Aisha Aish. This is a concept in language where you cut short the name of your beloved for at-talattuf, to show some emotions. It says Faya Layla كم من حاجة لي مهمة. Oh Layla, how many important things that I have within me. I have so much important needs, things I need to satisfy within me. And then he says, إذا جئتكم بالليل لم أدري ما هي. Whenever I come to you at night, I get confused. I don't even know what it is. I have a lot of things on my mind to tell the beloved. I have a lot of things that I want to satisfy myself with when I get to the beloved. But then إذا جئتكم بالليل لم أدري ما هي. Here as well, you find it being read إذا جئتكم يا ليل لم أدري ما هي. Whenever I come to you, oh Layla, I get confused. I don't know what it is. And then he says خليليّ إلا تبكياني التمس خليلا إذا أنزفت دمعي بكى لي. Says, oh, my two companions, Khalilayya. And here he uses two companions just for the language sake, but it could mean all his companions. And the situation of ardent lovers, they don't like to be the only one. When somebody is in love so much, he doesn't like his situation to be just him. He wishes there is somebody who understood his situation so that the person will share in his emotion. So normally you find the beloveds calling out to their companions to share with them. We find this in the abiyat of Imru'ul Qais, where he says in just the beginning, at the Matla al-Qasida, where he says كِفَى نَبْكِ مِنْ ذِكْرَ حَبِيبٍ وَمَنْزِلِ بِسِقْتِ اللِّوَى بَيْنَ الدَّخُولِ فَحَوْمَلِ. Says, oh, stop, oh, you, my two companions, كِفَى نَبْكِ, let us cry. He is the one in love, but he calls his companions to wait for them to cry. كِفَى نَبْكِ مِنْ ذِكْرَ حَبِيبٍ, for the remembrance of a beloved, بِسِقْتِ اللِّوَى, who was at Siqt al-Liwa. This Siqt al-Liwa is found between بَيْنَ الدَّخُولِ فَحَوْمَلِ, is found between these two places. So it's the character of the ardent lovers to find people sharing in their emotions, to console them. So Qais ibn al-Mulawwah, he says, خَلِيلَيَّ إِلَّا تَبْكِيَانِيَ, if you don't cry with me, you don't share in my tears, التمس خليلا أي أبحث عن خليل جديد, I'll find a new companion. إذا أنزفت دمي, whenever I pour down my tears, بكى لي, he will cry for me. says فَمَا أُشْرِفُ الْأَيْفَاءَ إِلَّا صَبَابَةً. أُشْرِفُ بمعنى أصعد إلى الفوق. I climb high. Says I don't go this length. I don't climb on. Aifa is high places like a hilltop, mountain top. That is Aifa. I don't climb to these mountain tops illa sababatan, except due to love. Except due to love. So whenever he's so much beaten by the love, he climbed to a high places. That is just the halwa we are talking about. It says wala unshidul ash'ara illa tadawiya, and I do not say these poems except tadawiyan, to cure myself, as a cure. That is what we were saying, that he used to recite the poem as a tasliya, as a inas. He used to do that to keep himself company. So he's telling them, if you think my situation is weird, I do not go to these high places except through love, and I do not say this poetry except to cure myself. وَقَدْ يَجْمَعُ اللَّهُ الشَّتِيتَيْنِ بَعْدَمَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala many a times could bring back two people who have been separated. Ash-shatit, yani a separation. That is why we call the diaspora shatat. So people who are away, we call them from the root ashat. So when he says وَقَدْ يَجْمَعُ اللَّهُ الشَّتِيتَيْنِ, two people that are apart, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bring them together. بَعْدَمَا يَظُنَّانِ كُلَّ الظَّنِّ أَلَّا تَلَاكِيَ, after they have already thought that we cannot meet again. يَظُنَّانِ كُلَّ الظَّنِّ, they are completely thinking that لَا تَلَاكِيَ, that we cannot meet again. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bring them back together. He is using this line to console himself that perhaps he can come together with Layla. Unfortunately, it didn't happen in his case. It happened in the case of Qais ibn Zarih, where he came back with Lubna. Unfortunately, he actually didn't get to come back with her again. She died when he had the opportunity to. And then he says, لَحَ اللَّهُ أَقْوَامًا يَقُولُونَ. لَحَ اللَّهُ بِمَانَا قَبَّحَ اللَّهُ بِمَانَا لَعَنَ اللَّهُ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curse the people يَقُولُونَ, who say إِنَّنَا وَجَدْنَا طُوَالَ الدَّهْرِ لِلْحُبِّ شَافِيًا. Those people who are saying that, oh, we've realized that when somebody lives very long, at least the pain of love will go. These people, they've said that وَجَدْنَا طُوَالَ الدَّهْرِ, we found that long time لِلْحُبِّ شَافِيًا cures love. When you love somebody, they'll say, oh, after 2 years, the love will go away. So he, Qais ibn al-Mulawwah, is cursing them. He said, may Allah curse these people who are saying that whenever somebody is in love, after a long time, the love will go away. Why is he cursing them? He's saying, وَأَهْدِي بِلَيْلَةٍ, the time I've spent with Layla, or the time I've had Layla in my heart. وَهِيَ ذَاتُ مُعَصَّدٍ. ذَاتُ مُعَصَّدٍ. Mu'assad is the dress that little children wear. Yani it has no hands. Small hands that is just like a thread that will hold the dress to their shoulder. So the hands will be bare, even part of the shoulder and the chest. And this dress, they wear it to the little girl only. When she grows a little bit, they wear a full dress. So he's saying that I knew Layla when she was Zatu Mu'assadin, when she was wearing this small dress. Yani when she was very little. ترد علينا بالعشي المواشية, till we got to the point where we used to al-ashi bimana evening, al-mawashi jam'u mashiya, that is a flock. She used to take the flock to eating as they were growing. They will take the flock to gaze, and they will bring them back. Yani we grew through all this period to the point that فَشَبَّ بَنُو لَيْلَى وَشَبَّ بَنُو إِبْنِهَا, till the point that the children of Layla grew. وَشَبَّ بَنُو إِبْنِهَا, until the children of her children grew as well. Imana Layla gave birth, and her children also gave birth, and they all grew. Imana, I knew her when she was out to Mu'assadin, till she used to take the animals to grazing and bring them back in the evening. And she's now grown a bit, until she gave birth. شَبَّ بَنُو Layla, until she gave birth. وَشَبَّ بَنُو إِبْنِهَا, until she became a grandmother. Her children also gave birth. All this period, وَأَعْلَاقُ لَيْلَى فِي فُؤَادِي كَمَا هِيَ, all this period and the things that was attached in my heart for Layla, أَعْلَاقُ لَيْلَى أي ما تعلق من ليلى بقلبي في فؤادي كما هي, it is just as it is. Nothing has reduced of it. All these plenty years, the love I have for her and things that are attached to my heart for Layla is just as they were. And he says, إِذَا مَا جَلَسْنَا مَجْلِسًا نَسْتَلِذُّهُ تَوَاشَوْا بِنَا حَتَّى أَمَلَّ مَكَانِيَا. He says that whenever we sat at a place, and this it could mean that whenever he sat with Layla. So let's take it from that angle in the first place. Imana, whenever I sat with Layla, majlisan, at a place, nastalizuhu, and we were enjoying ourselves, we were having fun, talking and enjoying this majlis. Tawashaw bina, people will go telling things about us. Hatta amalla makaniya. Ay hatta huna bimana at-ta'liliya. Ay likay amalla makaniya. They do that so that. حتى هنا ليس بمعنى إلى أن أمل مكانيا. Not they do that till I get fed up of sitting there. He can't get fed up because it's with Layla. But they do that لكي أي من أجل أن يمل مكانه. They do that so that he will get fed up with his position where he's sitting. And then we could take it as he used to sit with the men. أي إذا ما جلسنا نحن الرجال مجلسا, whenever we sit in our base, in our places, nastalizu, talking and having fun. Tawashaw bina, people will now be saying things about me and Layla until I get fed up with sitting with them. That could also hold. And then he says, and we will end with this bait inshallah. Says, سقى الله جارات لليلى تباعدت بهن النوى حيث احتللنا المطالية. Says that Saqallahu is kind of a prayer for Allah to bless. So when I say Saqallahu ayyamak, Saqallahu amalak, may Allah bless it to flourish. So may Allah bless Jaratil Layla, may Allah bless Layla's people. Bimana usratu Layla, bimana sadiqat Layla. May Allah bless Layla's people. These Layla's people, taba'adat bihinna nawa, distance have taken them far away from me. حيث احتللنا المطالية, where they've held their new camp. Al-Matali, an easy land, a land where the land is, there is water, there is everything. It could mean that. So they've moved and they've settled in Mataliya, in another land. So he's praying for Layla's people, saying that may Allah bless them, but distance have taken them far away from him and they've settled in another place. This prayer he's doing for Layla's people is not for Layla's people. It is for Layla. When you love somebody and the person is among a people, actual ardent love, the whole people, they look like the person for you. You come to love every single one of them because of the beloved that is among them. So inshallah we will end on this bait, and inshallah we take from the verse number 16 and continue till we reach the end. Allah grant us the wisdom in this love and make us love the necessary things just like Majnūn loved his Layla. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.